Hey guys, and welcome to another video from the Parrott Bros. Now today we're going to be discussing one of the biggest topics and the biggest bugbears of interior on any TT or any Audi, Volkswagen of this era, right? And that is that rubberized coating. I hate the fact that it looks like someone has literally, with no hands and no arms, using only their butt cheeks clenched holding their key, tried to get the key into that flipping lock. I mean, I don't think I've ever touched that with my nails or my key, but how does it get that bad? Seriously. Do you know what I mean? What, are you trying to put all your keys into the key thing at one point or what? But I have got a fix without even removing this. And this also works for other things with this same horrible rubberized coating. So before we get stuck into it, let's jump into the intro. Now we're a bit more comfy. Right, welcome to my garage. This is where my TT lives most of the time when I'm not fixing it, which is actually it's quite a lot of the time. Right, so basically you only really need one thing for this, and I'll show you in a second, but I just wanted to basically say what we're going to do is there's a product that you can use with a cloth and some gloves, and it takes a bit of doing, but a little rub around here and it comes off. So then you're left with just a nice, clean sort of matte finish plastic, which looks 10 times better than all of this crap. Feel like a science show here. Right, so gloves for protective, a cloth or a couple of cloths, which you're going to be throwing away afterwards, so don't be too precious about them. And this beauty, now this is isopropyl alcohol, bought from eBay, maybe DIY stores. With COVID now, you can probably buy this pretty much anywhere, corner shops, the lot. So, and literally all you have to do with this is put a bit on the cloth. Obviously put your gloves on, you put a bit on the cloth, literally just onto the corner, put it on the top like that, and then you rub it around the area. So let me just get my PPE on and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so PPE on. The reason I wanted to show you this is because you can take it out and you can obviously replace it with a new one, which I believe is about £60. I'll take the part numbers off this one, and I'll pop it in the description for you because I believe you can still order them. I know someone got one not that long ago. What I'll do is I'll start with this piece here, because this piece here doesn't actually have any scratch marks on, just to show you what it does. And you will need to remove your steering wheel to do this, because it has, if you're gonna be taking this off, obviously you need to remove your steering wheel, because there's two screws here which are located behind your steering wheel, which is a really annoying place to put it. And there's also a fixing. From memory, there's one fixing here that actually goes into the car, and then these two fixings here actually go into the top piece. So there's quite a few fixings, and it is quite annoying. You also have to take the rubber handle off of the release here for the steering column. But you can, and you can get away with this fully, is you can just drop the steering wheel down and pull it as forward as you can. Then you'll get everything that's visible, and then you can just put it back to its normal fixed position, and you won't even have to take the steering wheel off, and everyone's a winner. So with this, always put the cap back on when you finish, just because A, you don't want to spill it, and B, it is toxic and flammable, so maybe don't smoke when you're doing it as well. It's probably a good idea. And what you want to do is just put a few little dobs on the cloth, get it wet, so you've got a little wet bit, like so. And then just with that piece, just rub it, and it will feel like it's not doing anything for a while. What you need to do is kind of wet the area up like that. Wait a few seconds, wait for it to start sort of flashing off and start drying, then hit the area again, using a reasonable amount of force. You don't have to go mad, but it does take a few goes. You can start to see it's already brought some of the stuff off, and you just keep going at it like that. And I actually done a little spot in the car just to prove the principle and see how hard it was before I did this. But it's easier for me to show you like this on my little makeshift bench in the garage. You can see what I'm doing, and I don't have to be contorted into all different angles to get it done. And this is this rubberized coating is literally the bane of my life. It's just, I had a Volkswagen Chiran 7-seater as a bit of a dump run car, and every door handle, every trim had that rubberized coating, and it was absolutely vile. The only other thing I will say is if it starts to feel a bit grippy, because it does start to come off and it does really black the cloth up, is just move on a little bit. You might need a couple of cloths, because there's quite a bit of plastic here to do, but wet the cloth up, not too much. That's a litre, I think it was like a tenner, so well worth its weight of gold. Plus it's good for just general things nowadays. There's quite a few uses for it. And just work it in, like I said, medium pressure. When it's in the car it's easier because it's bolted down so it can go anywhere. And then you'll start to see it just comes off. I've actually got an oval here now which is completely gone. And it looks wicked already. You start to sort of get less resistance as it goes. And then what I recommend doing is just get a clean bit, and you should be able to just wipe it, and then there'll be nothing on the cloth. That's when you know you're done. Now I'll try and show you this. Wait for it to dry. I'll see how well this comes up on the old camera. You see there, look? Wait for it to focus. So there is this section here has been completely done. You can see the rubberized coating, trying to get the best angle. You can see they're completely gone, and you're just left with this nice, smooth sort of matte plastic. You can either dress it with like a shiny dressing if you want, or you can leave it like that. Or you can buy that rubberized coating paint which we got for Halfords from the front grills. Again, I'll put a link in the description for that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tackle this. So see, look, state of that, all around the keyhole where people have been trying to get their keys in the car, you know. I'm going to go over all of this, and then I'll come back to you when it's all done, and I'll show you the end result. Okay, so all done. Now, what I would recommend based on actually doing it now is if you've got one of their microfiber cloths that's about a foot square, cut it in half, because all you end up using is the outside. I'll show you quickly. Because basically the outside edge is a lot easier to use than using it folded. So I cut it in half, and you'll see all the residues left around the outside, because the middle bit it's really hard to use without it dragging and whatever. But you can see all the residue there. Look, that's all the rubberized plastic off. It took me about 45 minutes start to finish, because I kept stopping, obviously swapping cloths, giving my fingers a rest, because it's a bit, after a while, it makes your fingers ache a little bit. It's come out really nice. There's a little tiny scratch on this one. You might not be able to see it on the camera. I'll show you a close-up in a minute. But besides that, it looks absolutely perfect. It's miles better than the one in the car, which I will show you again in a minute. Let me show you how much I've used. So that was just under half full. So you use maybe 100 or 200 mil. The other reason for doing it out of the car is it's quite a strong odour. So ideally you need to use it in a ventilated space. If you're going to do it in the car, you might want to wear a mask or just do it in short breaks. Make sure you have the doors and windows open, because yeah, it stinks a bit. Right, moment of truth. Let's show you. So look at that. Look, compared to the original, it's got a few finger marks on it, but you can see, look, oh, perfect. No horrible scratch marks. Look at that. Look, oh, beauty. I didn't actually do the face because there's nothing wrong with the face of this, plus the steering wheel sits against it anyway, so you can't see it. All I did was just a nice line around the edge just so you can't see it, but look at that, look. Oh, beautiful. So, let me show you the one in the car quickly. I mean, look at the state of that. That is awful, isn't it? So this is the little spot. It's not going to go into focus very well. This is the little spot where I tested it. And obviously again, I don't know how it gets like that. But yeah, absolute wrecker. So I'm going to be obviously swapping this one out for the one that I've just spent the last 45 minutes doing nice. But yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed watching that, guys. Again, just a nice, easy little DIY, little quick fix. What's that, 45 minutes, hour maybe? Something to do on a rainy day. Awful camera skills, but great results. What can you do? But thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.